Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Noor Izzati Auni Binti Khairul Anuar, and I will be the first presenter that will be presenting the segmental report of Public Bank Berhad. First, let's look at the company's background. Public Bank is one of the largest banks in Southeast Asia. It was founded in 6 August 1966 by Tan Sri Datuk Dr. Teh Hong Piao. This bank started its business at its first branch that is located at Jalan Gereja, Kuala Lumpur. Public Bank offers comprehensive range of financial products and services such as personal banking, commercial banking, Islamic banking, investment banking, share broking, trustee service, nominee service, bank assurance, general insurance product, and last but not least, sales and marketing of unit trust fund. Now, let's move to the next part, which is management approach. In this part, I will explain about the factors to consider in having segment report. There are 3 factors to consider in having segment report. The first factor is the nature of the business activities. The nature of the business activities comprises of the nature of products and services, the nature of production process, the type or class of customers for the products and services, the methods used to distribute the products or provide services, and the last one is the nature of regulatory environment. Next, we move to the second factor to consider having segment report, which is the existence of managers responsible for the activities. Managers are responsible for the processes of getting activities completed efficiently with and through other people and setting and achieving the firm's goals through the execution of 4 basic management functions, which are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Now, we will move to the last factor, which is information presented to the Board of Directors. The information provided to the company's Board of Directors, when it does not consider shift of decision making, it may indicate at the level which our overall performance is assessed and decisions are made about the resource allocation to as well as different areas of an entity's business. Next, let's have a look on the second part of management approach, which is the types of segments. There are 2 types of segments, which are business segment and geographical segment. Business segment is the unit of entity that is engaged in providing products and services to consumers. It is a distinguishable component of an entity that is engaged in providing products or services. The core business run by Public Bank are hire purchase, retail operations, corporate lending, treasury and capital market operations, investment banking, fund management, head office and funding center, and others. Next, let's move to the geographical segment. Geographical segment is a component of an entity that is engaged in providing products or services to consumers within a particular economic environment. For example, Public Bank has separated their geographical segment based on regions such as Malaysia, Hong Kong, Cambodia, and Vietnam. Now, it's time for me to explain about the last part in management approach, which is shift of decision making and its responsibilities. Shift of decision making is an individual or group of individuals that is responsible for the allocation of resources and assessing the performance of the operating segments. The Chief of Decision Making is Tan Sri Datuk Sri Tai Ahlek, who is also the Managing Director or Chief of Executive Officer of Public Bank. Since the 1st July 2002, Tan Sri Datuk Sri Tai Ahlek has served as the Managing Director or Chief of Executive Officer of the Public Bank Berhad. Tan Sri Datuk Sri Tai Ahlek is in charge in the Public Bank's overall business growth. He is also responsible in ensuring that long-term value is delivered to the shareholders, customers, workers, and all other stakeholders. Tan Sri Datuk Sri Tai Ahlek is also responsible for communicating on behalf of the companies to the shareholders, government entity, and also the public. And last but not least, he is also in charge for the allocation of resources and assessing the performance of the operating segments. Now, I will pass the baton to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Rissa Aisyah Binti Zainudin. So, let's continue with our presentation. To identify the reportable segment, each segment needs to meet the requirement of the 10% threshold test. There are 3 methods to calculate the 10% threshold test. The first one will be the revenue test. where the reported revenue that combine external and internal revenue is 10% or more of the total revenue. The second one is profit test, where the absolute amount of segment reported profit or loss is 10% or more. And the last one is asset test, where the segment asset is 10% or more of the total asset. Different company will have a different way or basis to calculate their reportable segment. But for Public Bank Berhad, the company measure its reportable segment with these 5 bases. The first one is revenue, profit, cost to income ratio, loan and deposit growth, and asset quality. So now we're gonna look into the segmental report by using the revenue method. Public Bank Berhad have 2 segments, which is the domestic segment and overseas segment. First, let's take a look at the domestic segment. To get the answer, we need to total up the external revenue and the internal revenue, and then we need to divide it by the total revenue for all the segments. As you can see here, hire purchase, retail operation, head office and funding center, and treasury and capital market operation did qualify for the reportable segment, as these 4 segments actually meet the requirement of the 10% threshold test. Now, for the investment banking, fund management, others, and corporate lending did not qualify for the reportable segment, as these 4 segments actually did not meet the requirement of the 10% threshold test. Now, let's move on to the overseas segment, where it consists of Hong Kong SAR, Cambodia, and other countries. From this report, it shows that these 3 segments qualified for the reportable segment, as it exceeds of the 10% of the threshold test. So now, we need to do the 75% test, where all reportable segments external revenue need to be at least 75% or more of the total external revenue of other segments. If it is less than 75%, the company should add another segment, even though it does not meet the requirement of 10% threshold test. As you can see here, Public Bank Berhad gets 79.96% for the 75% test. Therefore, the company did not need to add another segment. So now, for the new segmental report, we could see that now there is only 5 segments, which are hire purchase, retail operation, head office and funding center, treasury and capital market operation, and other segment. This is due to all the non-reportable segment now is combined as other segment. So now we're gonna move on to the advantages of operating segment. The first advantage is separating profitable profit, where it shows which segment give more profit or loss so that the company can make an improvement. Then the second one is transparency. In order to evaluate company's sustainability and growth and to monitor management performance, potential investors and stakeholders need to complete the information. Next is the disadvantages of operating segment. The first one is misleading. Segment information can mislead investors and other external users, where the information is actually developed for the use of the internal management. The second one is data manipulation, where the company's leaders could determine how their segment would be presented. Therefore, this operating segment could actually be manipulated.
Hi, my name is Minhad Hanis, Binti Soffain. I will be presenting for the second part, which is Part B Interim Report. Generally, the basis of preparation can be divided into 2 parts, which are integral method and discrete method. Integral method refers to interim report, which is a fraction of the annual report. Meanwhile, for the discrete method, is the report that be prepared on a periodic basis, and the interim period is separate period. Public Bank has used a discrete method in their interim report, which is prepared on a periodic basis. The reports are also prepared quarterly, which is 3 months for 4 quarters in the year. The basis of preparation for the Public Bank Berhad is the unaudited condensed interim financial statement have been prepared in accordance with MFRS 134 Interim Financial Reporting issued by the Malaysian Accounting Standard Board MESB for the 3rd quarter and 9 months ended 30th September 2021 under the Historical Cost Convention, except for the following asset and liability, which are stated at fair value. Okay, let's move on to the next slide, which is accounting policy. The first accounting policy that Public Bank Berhad use in preparing financial statement is leases, MFRS 16. Leases is defined as a contract or part of contract that conveys the right to use an asset for a period of time in exchange for consideration. Second, it is permitting lessees to apply it to the rent concessions for any reduction in lease payment, affect only payment originally due or on before 30th June 2021. Next, the second accounting policy is investment property, MFRS 140. Investment property is defined as a property which are held to earn a rental income or for capital appreciation or growth. Public Bank had adopted the fair value method in measuring investment property. Investment property are measured initially at cost, including transaction costs. Investment property that are occupied by companies in a group for conduct of business operation are accounted for as owner-occupied rather than as investment property upon consolidation. Next, I will pass the baton to the next presenter for further explanation.
Thank you to Miss Nadiah. Hi everyone, my name is Noor Shazleeza Aniyah and I will explain about types of interim reporting in public bank. Basically, in public bank, we have 5 types of report. Consists of statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss, statement of comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, and the last one is statement of cash flows. For your information, Public Bank Berhad prepares its interim report quarterly from 1st June 2021 to 30th September 2021. Next, the period for the current and comparative of each statement is prepared by Public Bank Berhad. Its accounting period will end on 31st December each year. The current and comparative of each statement will be prepared by the company according MFRS 134. It will be measured at 1st July 2021 to 30th September 2021. That is equivalent to the third quarter of Public Bank Berhad in year 2021. As for statement of financial position, the current interim reporting is 3 months starting from 1st July 2021 until 30th September 2021. The comparative of financial statement of the end of the immediately preceding financial year is 12 months starting from 1st January 2020 until 31st December 2020. Meanwhile, for the statement of profit or loss and another comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, and statement of cash flow, the current of interim reporting is 3 months starting from 1st July 2021 until 30th September 2021. The comparative of each statement is 9 months starting from 1st January 2020 until 30th September 2020.
Now, let me explain to you about the adjustment made by the company. As you can see here, there is an adjustment of intangible asset that made by Public Bank Berhad. On 1st July 2021, Public Bank Berhad create customer list during the year for 1,285,000 and will bring profit and benefit to the company when it begins sold to other company for the next 2 years. Due to that, Public Bank Berhad decided to capitalize the customer list as their intangible asset and the amount have been recorded in the company account during the month. The adjustment that we need to adjust is debit administrative expense account at amount of 1,285,000 and credit intangible asset at amount of 1,285,000. Now let's take a look on extract of statement of financial position as at 30th September 2021. As you can see, before the adjustment, the current interim on 1st June 2021 until 30th September 2021 and comparative on 1st January 2020 until 31st December 2020, the intangible assets are in the same amount, which is 695,393,000. After the adjustment, the current interim on 1st June 2021 until 30th September 2021, the intangible asset amounted to 695,393,000 will be deducted with admin expense at amount of 1,285,000. Therefore, the carrying amount as at 30th September 2021 is 649,108,000. Meantime, for the comparative on 1st January 2020 until 31st December 2020 remain constant. Next, we will continue to the next slide for further explanation.
The second adjustment is regarding deposit from customers. On 1st August 2021, Public Bank Berhad noticed that deposit for customers have been overstated for 15,734,000 ringgit during the month. For the adjustment, debit is deposit for customers because it is overstated. So, we need to reduce it while credit is retained earnings. Here, we can see an extract of statement of financial position before adjustment. To prepare the statement of financial position, the company is required to record in based on current interim and comparative. The current interim is referred to the quarter 3 starting from 1st July 2021 until 30th September 2021. Meanwhile, the comparative start on 1st January 2020 until 31st December 2020. Based on the financial position before adjustment, we can see that deposit from customers in the current interim is 288,902,969, while for the comparative is RM 278,078,713. After the adjustment for the current interim, carrying amount of deposit from customers is reduced by 15,734,000 ringgit. Therefore, the total will be 288,886,962, while the carrying amount for the comparative is still the same. That's all from our team. We hope we will end our presentation here. Thank you very much and have a nice day.